Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And how about that ETF 500 making it to Robinhood and trending #1 right on StockTwits like the entire weekend? So that's pretty amazing, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm glad I have a huge amount of that. And like I said, I've just been buying it and buying it and buying it while it's been down. I'm not worried one bit. And that's that ETF 500. And I think you guys realize as much as everything. I mean, Solana and all them are way back. Solana's at like 123 right now, and ETF's just been holding its weight. So I'm very confident that it's going to be flying, and I'm very happy to have a bunch of it. So that is the ETF 500, and we'll get cruising through the market, see what's going to be popping for tomorrow, this week, what's going to be looking good. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And I hope you all had a great weekend. They fly by so fast, and it's the end of March already. It'll be the beginning of April Fool's Day, as a matter of fact, on Tuesday, and then Tariff Day on Wednesday. So big week coming up, so we'll see how the market wants to react and see what's going on. And here we are. That's how it finished. If you don't remember, it was red on Friday, that's for sure. So let's see what's happening, how they ended, and what's going to be happening tomorrow. We'll, like I said, find the poppers. We'll find what's looking good, point them out. So make a list, and you guys have the watch list for tonight. So let's get cruising and see what we have going on. We can finish up and get back to our Sunday evenings here. OCEA, it pulled back a penny right there. It ran up the other day. It was Thursday it ran up. It almost looks like a little healthy pullback on there for like 2 days, but it got under that 20. We'll take a look. I think market conditions will have a big effect. And again, it's Tariff Day Wednesday. Who knows what's going to be happening? We'll get a better idea at 7 a.m. But I'm curious how they all look, and we'll obviously see what's setting up for tomorrow morning and the early morning Webullers and even the pre-markets and everything else. So that is our OCEA. It did run up. We might see a little more pullback down to this bottom down here, and then it could get cruising. We do know they like to, run up, pull back, bounce up, and then keep in that pattern right there. So how about this GDHG, guys? I mean, this was a beauty. Ran way up for us, and it's still up in the top. And keep an eye on this thing in the morning. GDHG, it could have another, that's not it, GDHG. It could have another big run up there tomorrow. Look at this thing. Curled through. We knew it was looking good. We looked at it way down here. So it's been a big old runner. And like I said, you might get another big squeeze out of it in the morning. So you want to keep an eye on that with some momentum right there. And how about that lion right here? It was down a little bit, but it was jumping around the other day after the reverse split. And it, again, that pattern changed as soon as he mentioned the word tariffs the other day. And look, they were starting to cruise through. And then the ones that didn't go through, they ain't going through. They're bouncing back. We'll see what he says this week about tariffs and how it goes with Tariff Day. So that is the line just pulling back, and again, nothing bad off that reverse split. Ran up a hair, but nothing crazy either. So we'll watch the line to try to get set back up here, and obviously it's going to have to crawl through there to really get moving, and that's what we're going to be looking for. And our APDN also pulled back there on Friday. It was a nice pullback hitting that line, and look at it, left us just sitting there. Watch it. It's just hanging out and flat, so it'll all depend on tomorrow morning, clearly, and that's how it ended. So it could get bouncing, and it could also bounce back down. What do I think it's going to do? Honestly, it really depends on how the market. It's so hard to tell. It's like a coin flip. It could go either which way. Again, if it rolls back down, I don't think it's going to make this huge fish hook, so it could be a quick little roll down. So that's what we're looking at, and obviously I can't tell you one way or the other. I wish I could, but they left a lot of them, and we talked about this before. They just keep doing it. They're just leaving them where you can't really tell. You can get a little idea. If I had to guess right here, oh man, that's even a hard guess 20's all the way up there. Yeah, I have no idea. It would be just a complete coin flip, to be completely honest. That's all I could tell you. But again, if it does dip down, it's not going to be big. It's just going to be a small curl, and it'll catch its momentum. And that's why you can't tell. The reason why you can't really tell is because they left it over the weekend like that, and then they just, can go any which way. So it is difficult on the weekends. If it was during a week, you'd have a better chance of being able to tell, but it is a tough one right there. And DMN, we were tracking this one. It ran up the other day on Thursday, and a lot of them did kind of pull back here on Friday. And let's see how much this did pull back. It went up from 4 to down to a penny. Holy cow. I knew it pulled back, but that one really pulled back. We might have to keep an eye on that one again, unless it's going to be reverse splitting or something. Offering on that, that's nowhere near us. So yeah, we might have to keep an eye on this. I'll be watching that DMN, and that could be a great opportunity all the way down at a penny. And that's like that logic mark got down there. Didn't I have that on the list? Logic mark? I don't even know if it is, but let me just write it down at the end, and we'll go over it now. Logic mark right here. And yeah, this one pulled back big time right there, and we've been watching this, and it was like just at 4 cents the other day. Look at it, spiked up to 10 cents the other day. That's right. And that was in the pre-market. I know that you're not going to see that 10 cents over here. Or are you? Yeah, you are. What did it spike up to? I remember it was up there. Yeah, it was just at 10 cents. All right, then didn't spike up to 10 cents, but it was up here in that channel. It dipped down, jumped around there, and then dipped down Friday. And again, it was like in the 4s and even at 10 cents. And I know it had come back down, and yeah, down to the 5s it was, not the 4s. It was in the 5s. So it was in the right at 5 cents there. And then it pulled way back there in the 2.5 area. So big old pullback for Logic Mark. And this one could be a great opportunity. I don't think they had that offering back here. I don't see anything about a reverse split or anything. And I don't see it coming up on here. So Logic Mark's definitely one we're going to want to keep an eye on this week. And I will keep my eye and see what that wants to do when it wants to bottom out. Let me just see how it opens up, because look at it coming down to that MACD right there, and we could get a nice curl off. So keep an eye on that in the morning, actually, guys. So you're concerned about the Logic Mark. So yeah, this may help for a pop, but looks like a rough road. Oh yeah, I don't think the company's in good shape by no means. I don't even know what they do. Health information services. Yeah, I wouldn't be looking at it long term, but yeah, definitely looking good for a pop off. And again, we're looking at it for a bounce right there. And any thoughts on it? Are they reverse splitting? That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if they are. It looks like they might have to down at 2 cents. So we'll keep an eye on it tomorrow. Let me check it out in the morning there. Blue Collar Teamster, Laptop Travel, a few other people hopping on. So how is everybody this evening? And again, I hope everybody had a great weekend. They just fly by, but it was beautiful here on most of the East Coast. I think some people had some rain, and we're starting to get some of them April showers going to be rolling in. It was like it's going to turn April, and it's supposed to like maybe rain all week. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. But we did have some beautiful weather over here. The last 2 days all weekend was really nice, so I can't wait for it to get warm like this, and I wish it could be like that every day. I think I gotta move somewhere else where it is like this every day. It would be way more enjoyable, that's for sure. Anyway, Logic Mark is way down there. I'll take a look at it tonight. We'll look at it right now, but we'll look at it tomorrow and see. And again, we'll look at that reverse split, because they're probably close to it, but we're just looking for a quick pop there. And how's it going there, David? And so yeah, that is our Logic Mark, and we'll look at this BON, guys. I'm telling you, this thing was looking really good. I know it pulled back on Friday, and it was looking really good the other day. So let's see what it's up to. And that could be a great one to keep an eye on. And again, just have to be super patient. You can kind of see it's trying to set up here, and it has a few more days, and you didn't want to go into anything right before the weekend. It's kind of a little bit crazy there. If you're getting into something on Wednesday, Thursday, you want to try to make sure they're popping, because you just never know. And they seem to like to pull back here on Fridays, depending on obviously what's going on. But we've seen it a few times, and then they pop up there on Monday and then run back down. down. So we'll see how they open when we're on at 7 a.m. But we'll go through everything. And this BON again pulled back really nice. So we'll have to see what it's up to tomorrow, because it went from 15 down to 11. So that's exactly what we love right there, is when they go dipping like that. And so we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. And that is our BON. And again, that one is a pretty new one. Oh, and Laptop Travel just posted a list for some reverse splits right there. So we'll go through them. Some on March 31st. Oh, a whole slew of them, huh? Holy cow. So that's tomorrow. Let's look at that real quick. Actually, we'll go through that at the end. AUUD, I have it on the end, so we'll go through that. And then I just wrote logic mark. So just remind me of the reverse split list right there. I'm going to retweet it right there. And we'll go through some of that. We'll go through that March 31st and April 1st list right there. So we'll check them out. But yeah, that BON, I'll look at that, because look at it. It's touching down at that bottom. And I don't think it wants to dip down real hard. We know that they like to curl up real nice as well as they're approaching that MACD, but not necessarily having to curl through. So BON, I'm going to keep an eye on that tomorrow as well, just to see which way it wants to go. And this AGMH, we liked it the other day. I know it popped up Thursday. We were looking at it right in these days. Popped up, hit that 20, came back down. Nice pullback, and I think you're going to be able to get it at another good shot and bounce it back up. Look, they're just bouncing in these channels, guys, and that's all you have to do is kind of find it. He got over that, which was a resistance, made it a support line, that trend line, and then came back down. I bet it tries to go back up onto it tomorrow. So keep an eye on this AGMH in the morning, because that could be trying to bounce back up. We'll take a look at it and see, but I'd be watching that to see what's up with it. And ALLR, this one was... Oh, this one's getting set up as well. I know this one's getting set up. I remember looking at it, and we've seen a couple of them get into this channel, pull back just a little bit and roll off. So just watch tomorrow to see if it pulls back any, and that might be your spot right there. So keep an eye on that ALLR, and it did dip down the other day right there. You can see it right here to that 91 cents. We're sitting at 101. So keep an eye on this ALLR tomorrow as well, because I'll be watching that one to see what it's up to. And this hit, this one is getting set up. It's a big old fish hook. It tried to run up here the other day. It wasn't ready, but look at this thing getting really close. And let's see what it's up to right here. HIT. And yeah, look at this guy. I'm telling you, I would keep an eye on this tomorrow, guys. This could be a good hit for this week. 69 to 78. I know it came back down to 69. I've been watching this bad boy, and I think this is going to be a hit right here. So it has a lot of room right there, and it is trying to get set up. And I don't think it's going to really bounce off there. Obviously, if it, we're looking for that quick pop, and I don't think it's going to curl through and continue to run, but the way it looks like it could get curled up there and get cruising. So, and just again, it's going to be one of them quick poppers. So keep your eye on HIT tomorrow. Good old hit. And we'll watch it for this week if it doesn't do anything in the morning, but I'll keep an eye on that. And HEPA right here, this one recently split, has been pulling back. And you do have to be pretty patient on some of these. They do get set up, look great, and then all of a sudden they just lose themselves. So it is a choppy market for sure. That's why we've been staying patient and really trying to find the exact ones that want to move. And you can't be perfect, but we're doing pretty well with this choppy market. And HEPA just pulling back and curled through up there trying to run up. So we'll look at it tomorrow, and it's another situation where you'll probably have it to get rolling off, and that's where you'll see it actually move. So that's HEPA. And how about this Clue? This was starting to move as well on Friday, or it was down. I thought it was moving maybe in the after hours. I thought it was up some. It had to have been up. I remember. Maybe I'm just crazy, but anyway, let's just look. What did it do? 213? No, it was definitely down. I'm wrong. It opened at 213 and it came down. I thought it was up Friday, but maybe was it up Thursday? I don't remember. Maybe it was Thursday. I'm thinking, yeah, Thursday. It looks like it was up. Maybe I was thinking Thursday. And I was gonna say I thought that bad boy was up. So let me look at it, because yeah, it was just kind of running flat right there. It didn't look bad. I remember it's just running flat on this basement line, and when they do this, sometimes they get cruising, guys, and we know this is one of these China ones, and we watched it before. It reverse split and still hasn't really popped up. It popped up that little bit, but if it gets over that 20, guys, you might want to watch this, or it might even run up to it. But I'm telling you, it's like running, just like I said, it's right there. So 194 to 224, it's not far off, and I'm telling you, this thing could get cruising. So just keep your eye on this clue right now. And that, like I said before, we watched it, it was looking good to set up, and so were some of them education and training services ones. Some of them were popping. Clue never did it. They ended up pulling the reverse split with this other one, LIT. Oh, no, it wasn't that. It was LICN. Yeah, LICN. Lichen International. And these guys, they ran up the other day. Remember, we looked at it real quick as it was running up there. But, yeah, it's pulling back as well. But this one ran up, or also reverse split the same time Clue did. And the same day, I remember. And again, this one ran up a little bit, but Clue's looking really good. This one was in the basement. Clue's just riding that line. This one's not looking bad to try to get set up as well. And we did know last week them China small caps were getting set up. And if the market's red at all, you know these things, they like to run when that happens, especially when the Mag 7s are down and the rest of the market's down. These China small caps like to go ripping. So it's always something to keep an eye on. So that could be the opportunities right there. And you know we'll be seeking them out. But there you go, a Clue and this LICN and UOKA, if I could type that in, there it is. And that one, I'm telling you guys, watch this thing tomorrow. This thing has been just so nice. It's run up so many good times. It ran up a little bit Friday there, 16 to 17. It's back at 16 and a half and just getting set up. I'm telling you, this thing is really, really good. I have no idea. I think I say it all the time. No idea what their real estate services in the UK. And yeah, something's, look at these spikes. We always talk about it, but I do like that one. It does look pretty nice right there. And how about that LAC, the Lithium Americas Corp, was trying to get set up, you could see, and it dipped down. So I think we're coming down here, and that could have been on earnings, right? They did have their earnings, so we will see what it's up to. Good old LAC, you might get a little bit of pullback. Look at that. That was its earnings pullback. So, yeah, we'll see when it has to bottom out, if it comes all the way down or if it's going to start to curl back up. We'll take a look at LAC and see what it's up to. And good old AIM right here, they had earnings as well on Thursday, and I guess they weren't the best, and it was just pulling back. And another one going to pull back to that MACD and get rolling up there. So, AIM, we know they have a bunch of stuff going on. You can see it. It even got stuck right there on the 20, looking pretty good right there. So yeah, keep an eye on this AIM, because like I said, you're going to get set up. You can see it curling up in this channel, and it's going to get moving. I think AIM's another one of them ones like OCGN was. Not as tight, but I think you're going to see something flip around on this. And again, another, we didn't really know what was up with that OCGN. We just knew the chart looked good. This one we do know. We looked at it, and they have some stuff going on, and I think this is one of the ones that gets set back up the run. You can kind of see it trying to. So that is that AIM right there. And speaking of OCGN, here you go right here. Look at it, guys. Remember what I was telling you. I mean, holy cow, can you just call that any better right down there? Like them 51, we knew it bottomed out. It was looking pretty, and even right here we were like, well, it's getting it's going to be moving. And yeah, your high there was 58, but its low right there was what, 53? You're at 79, 77, and now about to get into that top right there for OCGN. And again, this whole entire chart, look at it. This is where they like to get moving right here. This whole chart might turn back around like we were talking about and really get cruising up here. So yeah, it might have been a beauty right there. And again, guys, we've seen this way out here, and we tracked this thing for well over like 6 weeks or so, just knowing it was dipping down and finding that bottom. So that was a pretty one right there, OCGN. And watch that in the morning, because you could keep that momentum keep going. And how about LRHC right here, that La Rosa Holdings? And let's see what that's up to. It had pulled back. It was trying to push onto that 20, and I think it's another one. It was trying to run up there and then had to pull back a little bit. You're going to get rolling off that MACD and get cruising. So I think this one's trying to get pushed up onto the 20 right there as well. Look at it, was trying it, and it just couldn't make it on Friday, but I do think it's going to LRHC. So this one could get up into this channel and get moving it back, cruising back up here, and again get totally flipped around and start moving again. So you can keep an eye on that one. LRHC, we were looking at it for a little while there, but it does look better to get set up, and this Rime's been looking good. It just dipped down right there, and maybe that's a little dip and rip look. So let's take a peek at it. Yeah, look at that dip on Friday. 226 up to 230. It came down to 2. It closed at 210. Not terrible, but it's just kind of pulling back. So we're gonna have to see if it can jump back up and get set up. But again, this one was in that great spot, ran up. I wouldn't say that's exactly huge. It's not terrible on that day, but you would expect it to move a little bit more. So maybe it'll take a few more days to get set up for Rime, RIME, and that will look better. We'll look at it, but I think that's what that one's trying to do right there. So we'll keep an eye on that and leave it on the list. And this MRM, guys, I'm telling you, we're just watching this thing dip down. Look at it. Try to make that base. I bet now it might try to, and again, we have to look and see that pattern. Before, it was going to bust through that, but then that pattern kicked in as soon as he mentioned tariffs, and then that was a wrap. I mean, look at it. It was trying to get cruising there, and then all of a sudden forget about it. So wasn't getting through, pulling back there down to that next level now. And yeah, we're keeping an eye on this one, because I'm telling you, this one will be a great one when it sets up, and you just have to be patient. We just know, we make this great watch list, and if you take them off of there and leave them off for a couple days, you'll just like kind of forget about them. So some of these I leave on, I think, that look better than others. For example, OCGN, I guess you can track like almost any of them, but a couple of them will grab my attention and I will say, wow, that looks pretty good. And we'll leave it on there and just track it. And then if it doesn't want to do anything after a little while, we'll get rid of it or we'll reassess it. But anyway, that's MRM. This one was looking really good, and we were just watching it pull back here down another level. So we'll see if it wants to get set up off of this level, and it will be definitely a better one right there, I must say. So let's keep on cruising right through our list and see if we find the fresh poppers for tomorrow. And how about this Top Ships? We just happened to click on this the other day, and we were looking at TOP, and I happened to bring this one up because I thought it was this, and it wasn't. It ran up, and it's just coming down. I think you're going to get some more run up is what it looks like. Look at this thing. I think Top Ships is about to get up into the top and really get top shipping up there. And yeah, so I'd keep an eye on that tomorrow for some momentum. And we were looking at this TOP, which ran up a little bit, obviously, because we were looking at it down here probably, and it did run up. But remember, I did say Top Ships looked way better, and you can see why. It ran up pretty well. But yeah, this TOP isn't too bad either. It looks better now getting into this channel, so look at it. Yeah, TOP looks much better, and I think Top Ships TOPS will be a pretty decent one to watch for tomorrow with some momentum. It has that look like it's trying to get up into that top, so I would check this out with some momentum play tomorrow morning for TOPS. And how about that Newton golf right there? I was playing some golf this weekend just in my yard, but I do have a putting green. It's awesome. And Newton golf's getting to be in that spot. Just watch a little pullback right here Friday. We have to see what it wants to do. And NWTG, but yeah, it's not looking bad. Like I said, it's getting to be in that spot. Sometimes it takes a couple days, and after a weekend, we always have to see it. It's split and in a great spot, so we're definitely keeping an eye on this NWTG right here. That is for sure. I did have Logic Mark on there. We already went through it, but Starbox or something, STBX Starbox, yeah, Starbox Group, another one in a great spot. And look, that's why, what was that last one we just did, Newton Golf, it didn't really pop off of that line, kind of pulled back there Friday, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of these have been popping off that line. That's what I've been trying to keep an eye out for, and but it didn't really do it right there. And anyway, So yeah, Starbucks right here is pulling back, and this one did kind of jump up off that line, pull back right there, and let's just take a look and see what it wants to do. And it's just kind of run. I'd have to look at it tomorrow, but you can tell it's trying to get set up onto that 20 right there. So it could take another day or so, and yeah, you can see it. It's up here. I mean, it's pretty far off, but it looks like it's really close right there. But it is a little bit far off. Yeah, 28 right there. And we'll see what it wants to do in the morning right there for Starbucks. But again, another one just trying to get set up in a good spot. They've been pulling back, and we just watch them, pull back until they give you that signal that they definitely want to run. And obviously, if you don't hit every one of them, it's not a big deal. You catch the ones that give you the signal, and they do pop up there, and we have a pretty good percentage of them. So that's all you really have to look for on these. And again, when the rest of the market's running all crazy, that's what you want to keep an eye on. These penny ones love to go wild. HKPD, this one is trying to get set up right here. I mean, it was trying to run up Friday. Look at it. I remember looking at this, and this is that one that we were talking about. Was written by the same company as like HK, or what is it? HPK or HK, whatever it is, one of these China companies or something, but that ran up like crazy. Anyway, this thing, brand new company right here, and it's trying to do something, a Hong Kong one. A lot of these Hong Kong ones have been running, so keeping an eye on this and seeing if it wants to roll off. It tries to get set up right there. You can see it's spiked up. It could be getting set up, and again, it's fairly new, but it doesn't look bad to try to get rolling. And it's one of them ones that could just get cruising right there. Logic Mark we looked at. SUNE, Sun Nation. This was trying to set up the other day, pull back, and now look at it. Look at that 20 curling up on it. I noticed this the other day, and it closed up a little bit better. It looks like it was 43 to 47. It was curled up like that the entire day, I guess, because I just remember saying, "Wow, that looks pretty good like that." And yeah, it does. It just kind of curling up right there. You can see it on the 20. It did touch down on it, and I think SUNE is one of them ones trying to get set up and has a really nice channel. So it's another one you want to keep an eye on right there. And how about this ONCO? Didn't this one run Thursday or something? It was popping up there. Yeah, Thursday it ran up almost to that 20. It was just kind of cruising back a little bit there, ONCO. But there you go. It did pop up and then pull back from 10 to 8. And now you're at 8. We'll see what it wants to do. And there you go. And again, they run up. They almost get to that 20. They get just under it most of the time. If they don't, they go a little bit through it. But you don't really know exactly which one they're going to do, so you kind of have to play them accordingly, obviously. And that's how ONCO went. You can see it ran right up into there. And we'll see how it gets set up tomorrow for us. And MLGO. This one we said to watch for some momentum. It had that curl up look in the top right there. And them ones are kind of the easiest right now to pick apart. And this one did get cruising for us, 15 to 20. And it closed at 17.19. And it still does not look bad tomorrow. Again, it's a weekend, so you have to just make sure it's curling up tomorrow. But I would look at it and see if it has that momentum play still in it. And that could obviously continue to run up there. B-Hat, this one we talked about just on Thursday, and that the Godfather that does the actual small cap show that we'll be doing at 1 o'clock tomorrow, as a matter of fact, with Wolf and the gang. So if you want to check that out at 1 o'clock, I'll be on. But yeah, he had posted this out with some fundamental info, and again, I just look at the chart, and we looked at it, and he had some fundamentals about it, and look at that thing. I mean, he was dead on, and I said, wow, it looked like a bottom. Look for this to try to pop up, and I mean, that one just went right over to 20 a hair, like I was just talking. They either go right under it or right over it. Most of them do it. 183 to 314 closed at 192. So there you go. Not a bad one right there, I must say. He was on the money with that one for that, for a quick pop like that, and honestly doesn't look too bad. So keep your eye on this B Hat, Blue Hat Interactive. And we've obviously watched it before and hit a couple poppers off of it. But there you go. That was a good one right there. And again, it's always nice when the fundamental guys and the technical guys see the same thing right there. And he says, yeah, this thing's got some good fundamental info, and you go, yeah, that thing just bottomed out, and it looks like it wants to pop real quick. And he might know more long term, but again, you get that info and you just kind of see it. You're like, well, that's going to be a popper, and whether it happens the next day or in a day or so, is there. But that one just happened to go boom right there for us. So HKD, that's what it was. That's the one that's underwritten by that HKPD. Thank you, Laptop Travel, because I was sitting there trying to think of that, and I was like, I can't think of what letters they are. HKD, yeah, and that China one gets crazy, or that's a I always think it's a China one. It's a France one, and this thing gets crazy though. Oh yeah, they have ties in China. That's right. Laptop Travel explained it before, because I always thought it was a China one, and they just have like a office in France or something. I forget, but anyway, it's not a big deal. But they do, and then that HK, and then the same company is involved with this thing, which ran up like to like $1,200 when it first started. Look at it; it ran up literally a couple days in, $2,500 right there. It opened at 9:30, but look at this thing. It opened up down here at like $13 the first day, and then they just got it cruising. I remember trading it, and it was wild. And this was August 1st, whatever year, 2023 it looks like, so or 2022 possibly 2022 it was. So yeah, that was back then, and the thing went wild. And again, this company's involved. Yeah, you can't even you gotta find the thing on the chart, because I was way off of it because it went up so high. But anyway, that's why we were looking at that bad boy, and I couldn't think of the name of that. So anyway, that was that. And then B Hat was looking good. We'll look at that. And Mist right here, this one ran up it ran up Thursday and took a huge dip on Friday. I mean, it went down into the mist, and yeah, it ran up. Look, boom, it was China. And look at this thing. Generally, when they get set up like this, they're good to go. I don't know. What did this one do? It had to have had something bad. March 29th, affirms integrity of clinical data. Yeah, something had to have happened for something like that one. And FDA issues complete response letter for Etrapa. I don't know, whatever that was going on there, but you could see something bad happened right here. That's for sure. But what we're going to watch for is that bounce. Look at this thing. I mean, it took a crazy 215 to 2. It came down to 74. It's closed at 86. And yeah, we're going to have to watch this MIST, because that could be a great opportunity right there. That's for sure. So let me keep an eye on that guy and see what it's up to tomorrow. MIST. And this KVAL grabbed my attention the other day, and we're just kind of watching it get set up. Did it like disappear? Is that what it's called? KVAL? I don't know. Maybe it disappeared. Is that what it is? Or is it this? KAVL. That's what it is. I wrote it down wrong. My apologies. KAVL. This is what it was, actually. It's definitely KAVL. Don't mind me. Yeah, there you go. So if I wrote it down right, I'd probably be able to put it in. So yeah, I had the stock ticker written down wrong. KAVL is what it is. And I'm telling you guys, keep your eyes on this thing, because look at it. It's getting set up right here. Not looking bad. So I would definitely keep an eye on that KAVL when I give you the right stock ticker. It kind of works out usually. And there you go with that. And here's that STSS. And a couple people have been looking at this. And it did jump up in the pre-market there. I know that. It was up like 50% or something. Yeah, it ran up 17 to 22. I forget what it was up, but it came down pretty good, down to 3, and now it's at 4. So this is where you like to come in and check them out. But yeah, I mean, these things are just been volatile and crazy, and you really have to kind of play the ones that are really on the scanners. I think anything else could be just like dipping down. Even some of them could be dipping down hard, but I think you got to jump from the scanners and really just play them each day. You can't be getting into these things long term, because you can see what happens. They start dipping pretty hard, And yeah, and this one didn't even look bad the other day. Look at it. It was trying to cruise up there, not bad. And what happened to this company? I don't see anything, so I have no idea, but doesn't look like they had very good information coming out either, and that's STSS not looking great. DGLY, Digital Ally, and this one's been pulling back, and another one we were taking a look at here, trying to get set up over here, and then all of a sudden it's pulling back, trying to roll off. So that's what you get with your penny stocks at the moment, and this one's in another, and again, guys, don't chase any of these things if they're under the 20, because you can see how they're just pulling back hardcore. So you got to really know when they're about to curl up or roll off that MACD. So that's what you're really looking for right there. And that's something that you would keep an eye on for DGLY and UPC right here in a pretty good spot, trying to jump up over that 20. And let's take a look and see UPC. Doesn't look too bad to me. I mean, I have to see it in the morning, but like I said, on a Friday closing like that, not looking bad. The 20 looks like it's pretty steady. And I can look at UPC for you and EPSM. That one's pretty new. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to tell you anything about this one. Hold on. EPSM. Yeah, the only thing I can tell you is the second day it jumped up pretty good. But yeah, besides that, I have no idea. That's like an OTC with for me. I just can't really tell what it wants to do. And Xena, this one's getting set up. I'd watch for a little dippage action where it's at, but I would watch for it to get set up. So look for a good price on ZENA. Yeah, I would definitely was trying to hit that 20. I don't know if it's really ready. I'll look at it tomorrow, but we'll see what it wants to do. But again, I think it could pull back a little bit right there, and we'll keep an eye on that one. That one could be a good one. You can see that getting set up right there. And how about NEOV? Neo Volta right here. Let's see what Neo Volta is doing. Curling down. And again, we love when they come down on that MACD and then pop off of it. And if I type it in right, holy cow. NEOV. There you go. It looked like it closed strong. 233 to 263. Closed at that 260 right there. Oh yeah, it set it up there. I wasn't looking. I so hope in this month in April that they get FinViz fixed. It would be definitely awesome. I'll tell you that. They can fix it for my birthday. It's in the middle of April right there, 2 days before 420. So I'm April 18th. Let's see if they can fix it for my birthday. That would be a nice birthday present if FinViz could pull it off. So we're rooting for it. But yeah, I wasn't looking over there, so I couldn't tell what the hell it did. And it did pop up in the after hours there. And it doesn't look too bad right there, NEOV. So I'd say you might want to keep an eye on it. And again, there you go. That's why I have to go back and forth a lot of times, because I just can't tell if the chart isn't set up for me. Anyway, it's going to get fixed. Let's have a positive attitude, and then they'll fix this damn thing. Or what is this one? WMPN, William Penn Bank Corporation. Just pulling back. It doesn't look too bad. I have to look at this. WMPN. Yeah, I mean, it ran up, hit that 20. It's probably going to pull back and then try to roll off that MACD. That's what we figure it's going to do. And you might even have it come back down here. You can see how they like to bounce. It might not come all the way down, but it could come back down to this area, to your 1065, 1060 area right there for WMPN. So yeah, we'll have to take a look at it, but it is a regional bank, and it's trying to get set up. I don't think it's ready just at the moment. And GTI, this one ran up the other day. I remember looking at it, was Thursday they ran up. Yeah, not much ran up Friday, but yeah, Thursday we were looking at it right before we were talking about, because it is a Volkswagen and they are quick. And I made a comment about it, and it was boom, there you go. It ran up Friday. It pulled back. Looks like it opened and closed at the same price, because it did. And it doesn't look too bad right there. Just some healthy pullback, to be honest. So we'll see if the GTI can hit the gas pedal again and take off. And that is your GTI. So we'll look at it. And how about Starbucks? It was sitting right on that line. It's still sitting on there, crawling up. You can't think You don't think they can make it any more difficult right there, do you? I mean, look at that thing. That one looks like it's going to bounce down, actually. So that one actually looks like it's going to come down and roll off that MACD. So might have to look at Starbucks to bounce down. I know Laptop Travel. I can't even talk, guys. Laptop Travel said the Mag 7 was down in the overnight trading. So yeah, they very well could be pretty red in the morning. They were pretty red on Friday. So, and tariffs are coming up on Wednesday, and it's the end of the month tomorrow, and then it's April Fool's Day. So what kind of April Fools can Trump pull out for the market? Because it needs something. But again, we kind of know what's going on, so it's not the end of the world, and he'll get it moving back when it's appropriate. Let's get these rates down. Even like I tell you guys, if it runs up too much right now with these rates not fixed, it could be a big disaster long term. So it seems to be steady enough where they're not going to let it dip into a recession, and they'll try to get this stuff figured out hopefully sooner than later, obviously. And again, he only has so much time because you get the midterms coming up, and you can't be pushing it forever. You have that in less than 2 years now, obviously, so you got to have things moving way before that. So you got to have things going, and so yeah, they're working on it. Adobe looks like it's pulling back off of that too. I cannot type today. Holy cow! Yeah, look, Adobe looks like it's coming down, guys. So look for Adobe possibly to be pulling back, and Starbucks tomorrow. How about that TTD? Because that was run up the other day, and that's coming back down to that bottom line right there. Let's see if it can get popping off. It looked like it was more healthy pullback, but the rest of them pulled back and kind of took it. This one was trying to get cruising, but it just, obviously, the market didn't let it, and it did. It came out of the basement. It could have ran up a little bit more, but clearly with the market going red, it pulled it back. And yeah, there you go, a TTD. So we'll look at that one and see if it wants to come back down to that bottom, or if you're going to get a little bounce going off, because like I said, it doesn't look terrible right there for TTD. And how about Lockheed Martin LMT? And this one took that big old dip the other day. And let's see, it's down there, just kind of, they almost look a little bearish right at the moment, LMT. So yeah, they look like it's pulling, that looks like it's pulling back too. So Lockheed Martin looks like it could be coming down. Look at the 429 area. We could be getting it back down there, and it did come back under that the other day. So that's what it looks like for Lockheed Martin. All three of them look like they're coming down. TTD, that one possibly could bounce back up, but Starbucks, Adobe, and Lockheed Martin all look like they're going. Now I'll put a down arrow, down, 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 and a question mark on TTD. And there you go with them. And let's see what's up with TWOH right here. That is that OTC, or that people have been talking about and sending in. And honestly, it does look like it's trying to roll back up. That 20's moving up, and somebody's all about it. They post about it often, and we can keep track of it. And like I said, that's the only look I have on it. So it's not the best, but I'll take a look at it. Don't look terrible. And MSOS, take a look at this, because they had some cannabis news the other day, and they jumped up Thursday, but obviously with the market pulling back on Friday, most of them did kind of pull back there. MSOS is that ETF, and let's see, it is, yeah, like I said, Friday, a little healthy pullback. This one looked good. YOLO. That's another cannabis ETF. And that one looked really good the other day. Look at this thing getting set up off the bottom. So keep an eye on it. Looks like it might pull back a little bit more here. But we might have to add this guy to the list. YOLO. I'm going to put it right here, because that one might be getting set up. You can see it was trying to hit it Thursday, and it might roll right off. We'll keep an eye on this YOLO and see what's up, and see if that one wants to get bouncing. And Tilray, that one was down 5 cents. This one's a pretty good cannabis company. We've gone through it a bunch of times. I've done a bunch of things on it on the High on Wall Street. They have earnings coming up on April 8th. They're releasing them before the market opens. I know that. And but anyway, they were smart. They bought a bunch of breweries as well, so they didn't just dump all their money in cannabis, which was very smart. And they had bought Hexo, which was a pretty big Canadian cannabis company back when they were all popping back then. And yeah, they're not a bad company. Obviously, the industry is terrible, and I've explained it many of times. It's not really set up to be profitable. Let's put it that way. Not at least for these companies. And but yeah, they did it pretty well because then they bought up a bunch of breweries, and so yeah, they can make it if the cannabis industry is not so hot and the breweries are doing better. It kind of offsets their costs right there, and then they can use multiple locations for different things. So they figured it out, and again, they're not exactly the most profitable company, but somehow they keep cruising along there. So we'll take a look at Tilray. They get some good pops, and again, if the cannabis industry is going to do well, I think Tilray might be one of the better ones. Canopy Grow, look at this thing just going down, 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 down. Holy cow, it's in the basement, and it's going to go in there even more, it looks like. I don't know what happened. I think something happened the other day, but it does look like it's dipping down even harder. Cannabis investors should sell Canopy Growth today. So there you go. I don't really know, but whatever. I was just seeing if anything crazy had happened. But yeah, it does. Look at it. It's just pulling back right there. So Canopy Growth not looking great. And I mean, this thing's down like big time, guys. I mean, real big, since it's just keeps shedding money. All of them do. They just burn through money so fast, and I've explained it a million times how the industry actually works, because I know it inside and out, and people don't understand what it costs to just grow quality cannabis. But the problem is, without federal banking and everything else that normal companies can do, they just have no shot in being successful or profitable. And I've explained, you just can't set up your headquarters in every single state and try to produce manufacturing and stuff, which they have to do. It just doesn't work. It's not a business model that you can crank out, to be honest with you. So unfortunately, the government's just they've made it legal in states, but it's not exactly a profitable industry. There are a lot of monies in the industry. It becomes a little weird, because you see, it's like billions and billions of dollars, but again, these companies just burn through so much money. There's just too much money to operate, and just because an industry has a lot of money involved in it doesn't mean that all the companies can be successful. And again, there are so many companies that it just got flooded, and then obviously the people with the bigger money were going to stay on board because they had the money to do it, but they'll also just losing money while they were doing it. So it's just one of them situations in that entire industry, and that's why it is what it is. And we go through it and see if anything's happening. But there you go with some of the cannabis stuff, and we'll look at it this week and see if anything's going to be better. And FBGL right here, this is one that popped the other day, and it just came back down, and let's see if it wants to curl back up. FBGL, let's see, under that 20. We'll have to look at it and see. It looks like it might be pulling back. Maybe it gets back into the basement. I mean, it was short-lived out, so we'll have to definitely keep an eye on it and see. Let me look. It's 93, and it closed at 85, and just kind of pulling back there. So yeah, I have to look at that, but it does look like it could be pulling back. And CDT, good old Conduit Pharmaceuticals, that looked good Friday, huh? That one finally popped up. That's one we've looked at a million times and looking really good. 78 to 110. Yeah, that could get in that channel, Barbara, and try to move. We'll look at it in the morning. If anything, it tries to get stronger going up to this 20. You can see how it spiked up there. Couldn't get through, but did close pretty well. It says at 104. I wish it would have just showed me that. I know it was here. And but yeah, it's looking pretty strong, I must say, for CDT. You might want to keep an eye on that, and that could definitely have some momentum in the morning. And CISO. CISO. Let's see, CISO. And that's just curling and just riding that basement right there. I know we were looking at it last week. It's not looking bad to try to curl up. Has that weird look down here right there, and it is trying to cry. I would watch this the next few days, guys. CISO. It might not pop tomorrow, but it has that look like you can keep an eye on it, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And RSLS, Reshape Life Sciences, and this one's just dipping down there. I know we looked at it before recently. I think it might have been on the laptop lowdown list. Just pulling back right there. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad because maybe it'll base out. Let's put it that way. Because look, it came to that. It was on that level, and then it dropped down some. So maybe it's going to try to base out, and then we'll see if it has to drop down another level. But I would assume that it's going to try to roll off of there. So that's what that RSLS is looking at, and look at that. I mean, just complete dip, and a split back there. So a big dips all around, to be honest with you. Even the Mag 7, if you bought them like 6 months ago, they're probably like even or down, probably, I would say, because they ran up and then just dipped hard. And that's RSLS and CTOR. Citius Oncology, that one is trying to crawl up there, not looking too bad, I would say. CTOR, yeah, it does look pretty good. 66 to 81, closed at 79, did it say? There you go. It was saying it was up in the after hours. Wasn't looking, but it did look pretty good right there. So I would say keep an eye on that CTOR tomorrow. That's not looking bad. And AUUD, let's see what that's doing. Isn't that splitting sometime soon? Or did it? It pulled back, so it looks like they just announced the reverse split. Ones that take effect here. 1 for 17. It's definitely not that. On Monday, so before the market opened, so AUD, that might have been on that laptop travel list right there, because he did post them reverse splits, and there you go. So yeah, we'll look at that one after the reverse split. So that is an RS, and we looked at that logic mark. I wrote it down. So there you go with them guys. And let me take a look and see what that laptop travel list looks like, and then we'll go through and see what else is going on, what you guys want to look at. So let me know if I missed anything or if you have anything else you want me to see, and we'll definitely take a look at it. So here we go. Let me take a look at our laptop travels and see what they're up to real quick. Here we go. BENF. Let's see. Beneficent or something like that. Yeah, something like that. And that one looks like it's crawl. Oh, guys, that one looks good there. Let's see what this one did in the after hours. That one's looking pretty good, guys. I would keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. That one could be a good one right there. BWEN. Let me see what BWEN is doing. BWEN. Hitting that 20. It was trying to move on Thursday. It looks like a little bit of healthy pullback, and it's in there. Yeah, I would take a look at that one too. It looked like a little bit of healthy pullback. It was trying to run up there Friday. CIF. This one runs around a whole lot of dividends. I think that one's, we looked at it, and they give out like a dividend like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something crazy. It was wild. Because I remember there was one that we recently looked at like that. It could be this one. I don't exactly remember. But that one's looking pretty decent. I mean, it just runs around a lot. Look at it, 170. I guess it looks like it runs around a lot, but it has that one, like that big look on the chart. Like, you know, like it's not very tight. 171, 170 is all the way down here. Usually that's almost like 5-10 cents. So sometimes they do that, and I'm not sure why. But it is in close end fun. And so, yeah, it doesn't look too bad. But, again, it's just one of them ones. Could jump around a little bit. FGL, founder group right here. Engineering and construction. And that one looks good. And I know we were looking at this one recently. I forget exactly when. But it got up into that channel. And I would watch that one right there. The founder group's looking pretty good there. And GSIW. GSIW Garden Stage. And they're starting their garden stage now because it's getting to be that time of the year. So let's see what if it wants to grow, and it's staying in that channel, not looking bad. So yeah, it doesn't look bad to try to set up. Just make sure it gets curled up there. We'll keep an eye on it. IMCC, IM Cannabis Corp. And I'm not even sure if they do anything in cannabis anymore. I think we've discussed this before. I forget if that's the company, but they have earnings coming up tomorrow. So I wouldn't really mess with it there, but it's not looking bad. I must say, this thing does not look bad right there. We'll have to look at it. Could roll off, could go down. Again, I wouldn't mess with it for earnings, so we can take a look at it and see. After earnings, IMG is CimG Inc. Holy mackerel. Anyway, this thing's bouncing up there off that bottom area, just kind of made a little base and just decided to start going. Opened and closed right around the same price on Friday, trying to push through that 20. Looks like it's pretty good to try to go up there. So I would take a look at this in the morning. IMG right there, and IMRN. Let's see this one. That one spiked up on Friday. So you see, a lot of them bigger ones were coming down, and you see these guys are popping up like this, 184 to 210, closed at 185. So again, you got to trade them smart, but you do get these fast pop-ups, and I can't promise you they last exactly very long, but you do get these pops. So we do find them, the ones that want to pop very often. LIXT. This is a biotech company, and this one's trying to get set up here and not looking bad. So LIXT, keep an eye on that bad boy right there. That one's looking pretty good. And let's see LSH. That's at Lakeside Holdings. And let's see what it's doing. Looked like it was pulling back right there. Let's see, what is it? LSH. Yeah, a little bit of healthy pullback there on Friday. Nothing too crazy. We'll see. It could pull back a little bit more. I'll take a look at that one. Now, MTVA, that was moving a little bit last week. It looks like it's trying to get set back up right here. Look at that thing in that channel curling up. I would definitely keep an eye on this thing. It looks really good right there. MTVA looking pretty good. OLB Group, and this thing is curling up there, not looking bad. OLB, oh, there you go. It ran up there on Friday at some point, opened up pretty high. Did it even say? Nah, it must have gapped up early in the morning or something in that pre-market. I'll look at it. It's got a weird look, so I'll take a look at OLB. And let's take a look at SGRP right here. And again, if you want me to look at anything else that we didn't go through, keep an eye on, post it up in the comments, and we'll take a look at it. That's what I meant to say, not keep an eye on it. But yeah, if you want to look at anything, let me know. SGRP SPAR Group. And this looks like it's about to go to war right here. SGRP. It did run up there Friday, 139 to 160 at 139. Not looking bad, but I could see it trying to bounce back up again. We'll keep an eye on that. And that's SGRP SPAR Group right there. SYPR. Yeah, I got it right. SYPR, yeah. Cypress Solutions, and another one just getting set up right there, and not looking terrible. SYPR. Yeah, see, it's trying to get set up right there. It's not looking bad. I would look at that tomorrow to try to get set back up and try to get back in there and move. And that TCTM is a China education and training one, and this one was cruising back up. I know we looked at it the other day, and we've looked at this before. Like I said, it was cruising up 39 to 55, and it's at 46, and we talked about it the other day, trying to move up there. So there you go. They don't even have it, I don't think, at 46. Yeah. It says it here, but I wasn't really paying attention. But I knew it was cruising up without even looking at it right there. So there you go for TCTM, and we were looking at that one. And let's take a look at TOMZ and see what that's doing. Tommy Environmental Solutions. And Tommy's not looking too bad to start rolling back up there. What is it? TOMZ. What am I doing? Holy cow. I think it was a long weekend. I think the sun got me. TOMZ. Yeah, it's not looking bad to try to roll back up there, guys. So keep an eye on this thing. Good old TOMZ, Tommy Environmental Solutions, and TPET right here. And let me type that in the correct way. There we go. Trio Petroleum, another one getting set up. So a lot of these small caps looking pretty good right here, and not looking bad on that end either. So that's TPET and WETH, WETH. We Touch Technology. That's a China one. I remember this one popped really big not long ago. Could have been back here's when it ran up there. But this one is getting set up as well. And just watch for any pullback right there. Look at it getting set up. It might come back down and roll off and start getting cruising. So that is WETH and XTLB. XTL Biopharmaceuticals, and that one looks really set up, guys. I don't know, but I would keep an eye on it in the morning. Let's see XTLB, unless it already tried to bounce up there. Nah, it didn't. 125 to 127, that's where it closed, and I would say keep an eye on that XTLB. And how about ZOOZ right here, and see what Zeus is doing. ZOOZ Power. And this thing is curling up and looking good. I know it was on the list last week. And yeah, that thing looks really good curling up. So keep an eye on Zoos right there, ZOOZ. And there you go. It's your laptop travel list. Some really good ones right there. And let me take a look. I know I tweeted out. Hold on. I tweeted that out so I could find it. Let me do that. Oh, here we go. And NXU. I didn't really need to do that. There we go. NXU. Let me take a look right here. We'll look at some of these reverse splitters for tomorrow and just get a better idea. And we can see it. That one's pulled way back. So, yeah, just a bunch to take a look at tomorrow, obviously, as the reverse split in NXU. HUBC, Hub Cybersecurity. Look at that pulling back down there. So you could get a bunch of them pulling back tomorrow, but we're going to keep an eye on them to see if they get curled back up. We did a AUDD VMAR. We recently looked at this one, and it had run up there, and now it's getting into the basement right there, VMAR, and that is reverse splitting. So we'll look at that one. That one could be a decent one. WTO, U-Time. We used to watch this China's small cap as well. And what was it? EJH, we looked with it. And we'll look at it real quick. Look at that. I can't remember anything, but how WTO and EJH, I can remember, if I can't type it in, but I could remember it. And yeah, we used to look at this. Look at this thing all the way at the top. Holy cow, we used to look at this a lot. This thing ran up pretty massively, and it's still in the top, guys. Look at EJH tomorrow. Looks like it's like getting bought out or something, the way it has that look right there. AI launches AI robotic automatic cleaning equipment, and that was in December, the day before Christmas. And this thing's just been running up the entire month, guys. Look at it. So keep an eye, and it looks like it's trying to roll right back up there a little bit more tomorrow. So might want to keep an eye on that EJH. Just happened to take a look at that one as well, and there you go. But WTO is going to do the old reverse split action down here, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And what else was there? AREB. We were looking at this one as well, and that one does reverse split. And again, we noticed it was reverse splitting, but I think this one's going to be a good popper off this reverse split. American Rebel. So absolutely keep an eye on this one. And let's see, Icon, another one that we were looking at, and I definitely didn't type that in right, ICON, and another one, and look at that big old dip. So, yeah, you got to be really careful of these pennies. You almost got to wait for them to reverse split now, and then see when they want to get set back up. And what is that? WNWM? Holy cow, WNWM. Is that even what it says? I'm not even sure what that says. I can barely make that out. Let me look. I could be completely wrong. I just can't really tell what it even says right there. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what the heck that even says. Oh, I got to make that bigger. Wow, I'm telling you, I don't know what is going on. What does that say? WNWM. I swear that's what that says. Yeah, definitely. WNWM. WM. Okay, I'm not crazy. All right, I don't know what that is, to be honest with you. I don't see it coming up anywhere. But it definitely says that. I don't doubt that it's not one, but I just don't see it. So we'll look at that one, or we'll figure out what's going on. I just didn't know what it said. And there you go. There are a bunch of reverse splitters for obviously tomorrow and this week in the next day or so. So there you go with that list. And let's go look at our Jolie's Jams and see what Agrify and that crew's up to. Agrify was pulling back a little, but remember, this thing's been getting set up, and I think it is going to stay set up. Maybe you get a little bit of pullback into that channel. And yeah, look at this thing. It looks really good, guys. So keep an eye, but just watch for a little dip action on Agrify, and it will get set up. Blink. I didn't type it in right. There you go. And this thing, oh, it was trying to get set up. Let's see. BLNK. Yeah, it was trying to. You might get that roll off right there because we know they do like to. And I don't think it's going to pull back. You had that little pullback look, but I don't know about that. I'll look at Blink charging, but it does look like it should roll off. Sezzle right here was pulling back. Look at it come down to that support line down here. SEZL. And yeah, you got some pullback on that. And that good old Sterling STRL, that was pulling back as well. We thought it was trying to get set up, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at it. STRL. Oh, it's pulling right back to that support line right here. So watch for it to try to roll off. And that one might be a good one to try to roll off that MACD because you'll have some room right there that it can run up for Sterling, STRL. And how about that Rivian RIVN right here? And that one is trying to get set up. Just a little healthy pullback, it appears. RIVN. Yeah, it doesn't look bad even if it gets into that channel down to 1150. Still not terrible for Rivian. And let's see what Symbotic is up to, SYM. And another one pulling back. So we could have a red day tomorrow because they do look like they're pulling back. But we do know some of these China small caps will get moving and some other ones will be cruising. So we're fine with that. But we'll see if this one wants to roll off that MACD or if it really wants to pull back some more. It is on that support line. So we'll take a look at it. Could bounce back up. And we'll see what Symbotic wants to do. And there's your Jolie's Jams right there. And let me cruise on right through our SPY and big caps. We'll rock and roll right through them. We'll do our crypto. And then, like I said, I'll go through and see what you guys want to look at. So go ahead and let me know. And here we are with our SPY. It did close down, obviously, 11 something. But look at it. Bounce. It looks like it wants to bounce. Let's see if it does. I mean, is it going to come into that channel? Let's see. It has good support. It's over that. I mean, it's so hard to tell, guys. They've left them all right where it looks like it wants to bounce off, to be completely honest with you. That's what it looks like to me at the moment when they closed it. But like I said, Laptop Travel, so the Mag 7 was a little down. Apple looked like it was still pulling back right there. Let's see where it was. I know it was pulling back, but let's see. Nothing terrible, though. And that could get cruising off of that. So that's not looking terrible. I know Amazon had pulled back, obviously, with the rest of them, and that was dipping down through some support line. I had some good support, and then all of a sudden just started crushing through it like it wasn't even there. And we'll see. Maybe it just rolls right off, and tomorrow's a big green day before maybe they crank it up tomorrow to pull it back on Wednesday. Again, we're trying to think like what they have to do, so that's what I'm trying to factor in. And on the weekend, it's hard to do. You don't really hear much or see anything, so it's hard to, factor in anything. Oh. Long weekend. Anyway, Google, here we go. GOG, that one. Look at that pullback right there. And I mean, that's some good pullback on Google. And that was trying to really set up. And so we'll see. Hitting that line and hitting the MACD. Does it really want to cross down? If they cross down, I think they might drop a little more than they want. So you have to think about that. And again, we have to think about what they want to do at certain timing. Meta right here. Let's see what Meta's doing. It's just dipping down, and it does look like it wants to drop down pretty good. But another one, I don't think they want it to pull back that far. Holy cow, what am I doing? META. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it wants to pull back, and it is on that MACD. I would think they want to roll them back off and not get them into the basement right now. That's what it looks like, but again, it is a wild week coming up, so who the heck knows what's going to happen here. And Microsoft, look at that big old pullback look. And obviously, NVIDIA had a little pullback, but that good support. And is it pulling back, crossing through right there? NVDA, let's see. It is crossing down right there. So there you go at NVDA. So we'll have to take a look and see if that's what it wants to do. And how about Tesla? And that is just pulling back as well. But it is going to get set up. Maybe they are. It's so hard to tell, guys. I'm telling you, they did not make it easy. But yeah, it does look like it wants to pull back some more right there for Tesla. So obviously, we'll look at our Mag 7 at 7 a.m. We're on at 7 a.m. every morning for pre-market, and 9 p.m. at night from Sunday through Thursday night. And then our pre-market runs Monday through Thursday, and or Monday through Friday. I'm sorry, and that is pre-market at 7 a.m. So if you enjoy the show, check out pre-market. We rock and roll right through that, and check out the Mag 7. Our Joey's Jumpers, our Laptop Lowdown, our Crypto Spy, Big Caps, all these guys, and see a couple ones that you guys want to look at, and then we hop off. But we're ready for the market to see how it's going to move. So that's our 7 a.m. show each day. So if you're not following along, follow along on X and YouTube and all that other good stuff, and then you'll know exactly when we're posting everything. And again, if you're just tuning in, you have no idea what we're even doing. We're just going through a watch list that I compile. I just ask each night what you guys want to look at between StockTwits and X, and some of them I leave on the list, like the first few of them, or maybe in that first row, and then they get changed around a bunch, and then you guys factor in a lot. And again, you guys usually name a bunch of them, so that's why I keep them on there, just because I know that they're going to be mentioned, and that's perfectly fine. And we go through our SPY and Big Caps each night and a bunch of other ones and see what's going to be cruising around. So we try to find exactly what's popping, and that's what we're doing here. And yeah, I post out the watch list each night, and you can kind of follow along with that market as you go. And then I try to remember to take a picture of it when we're done and send it back out, and I put it on the stock cube to try to remember. So I'll do that when we're done, and you guys can take a look. So like I said, if you're not follow along, you'll get to see the watch list, all that good stuff, and a lot of fun other things. We have a great community of people, and we've been doing this show since like the very last day of May. So yeah, it's going to be coming up on like a year pretty soon that I just kind of hopped on here and started doing this thing. So, and we just recently started live streaming them now, so you guys could see all the charts and see exactly what I'm doing. So here we are, AMC, and it did pull back there, and it didn't look too bad coming to that line. So we'll have to see, but I could get a little bounce off of there, and I know it was obviously pulling back. I forget what was going on. What did they say? Something was happening. They're saying it's a stock to buy or something. I forget. Or was it GameStop? GameStop had the earnings, didn't they? That's right. They had their, I'm getting confused. GameStop had earnings last week, and it jumped up, and then that one pulled back. I was thinking GameStop, not AMC. But yeah, GameStop pulled back, and another one we have to take a look at and see. But look at it right back into this channel. And remember I was saying, was it the SPY was right there? Yeah, look at that. The SPY was right there, just like AMC. And so we'll take a look and see. It's not like they can't get in there. So that's why I was just showing you. Not that the AMC and the SPY are going to be exact, but anyway, you can see that they will do that stuff, and they can get into there. So we'll take a look at that. Or is that GameStop? And GameStop right there dipping back down. And like I said, we'll see about that when they had that. Yeah, GameStop and SPY. I'm sorry, not AMC. It was GameStop and SPY. Them two looked pretty similar right there. Confusing myself, probably confusing the hell out of you guys. My apologies, but yeah, GameStop and the SPY, both of them. SPY's right here trying to get into this channel right here, same kind of setup, and they like to bounce off of that. And yeah, now you see GameStop down there. Obviously, they had their earnings. It jumped up. I guess they said they were buying Bitcoin, and everybody got pissed or something. I have no idea, but GameStop's Bitcoin strategy as shares plummet, and I have no idea what's going on. What did it say? Now that all the fools have already rushed in, smarter investors are selling. So yeah, I have no idea, but yeah, I guess GameStop's buying Bitcoin to put it to their position. So just like a micro strategy type deal. And yeah, we'll see what happens with GameStop there. We'll keep an eye on it and see what it's up to. It's on our list for every night, so we always do. And how about Chewy just kind of dipping down here and hitting that MACD line it was trying to set up the other day? And here you come. It looks like it's going to get pushed down, guys. I think Chewy, they could go down some more. That looks like it's going to go down. Let's look at Netflix. That was down big the other day, I remember. And looks like it could come all the way down here. I was thinking it was about to get popping, and Netflix got dipping. So look at that. It was sitting right there on the 50, and this thing was trying to curl up, and the next thing you know, it's just dipping down hard. I don't know if they had any crazy news the other day, but what did Kramer say that they? Oh, well, that's what happened. Kramer said that you should own the stock, and then the next thing you know, it's going to plummet. So, yeah, there you go, Kramer. That guy, he's unbelievable. Whatever he says, just do the opposite immediately, because you're probably right. And yeah, no, Netflix will get bouncing back up. It's just pulling back with this market right here. And how about some semiconductors, AVGO? And we thought these were going to pull back a little bit. They had that look, and here they go. AVGO looks like it's going to be pulling back some more. MU looked like it was pulling back. It certainly is. And let's look at TSM. Actually didn't look too bad, and that one ended up pulling back. So I think you're going to get a bunch of good prices on semiconductors really soon here. And we will keep our eye, because, yeah, there's our TSM pulling back. SMCI was pulling back underneath it there. And let's see what it's up to right there. Yeah, look at that. It was trying to get curled up in there, and then boom, just right back down. That's your SMCI. And AMD was the same. We kind of figured it was going to hit that top up here, or hit that resistance and pull back. It's in that channel and actually not looking terrible considering what the other ones look like, but we'll have to see what it looks like in the morning. And that is AMD right there. And let's look at good old Qualcomm, QCOM right here. That's also pulling back. Look at it. And yeah, there you go. So hitting the MACD, we'll be looking at them all tomorrow morning. And Intel right here, INTC, that one's pulling back into that channel and curling down. So yeah, they all are pulling back, and we'll just have to see INTC. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to INTC what they're going to do, but that does look like it wants to pull back some at the moment for Intel. And PayPal right here, that was pulling back and looks like it could dip down even further. I mean, it's trying to keep itself up there, but I'm not so sure it will for PayPal. PYPL. Yeah, look at that thing dipping. Like I said, we'll see if it wants to roll off that MACD, but I'm not so sure. And Snow came down right there and could be dipping down. We know it got into that channel. Assume that's going to come down even further for SNOW. And we'll see if it wants to roll off of there, but that is looking like it wants to come down some more. And Dell's doing the exact same thing, pulling back. PLTR, that was pulling back, and I think I saw that was even down in the after overnight trading for PLTR. So that one is pulling back. And how about Sophie right here? And that one's pulling back. So, yeah, you do have a lot of pullback. You could have a red market again tomorrow. But obviously get some good setups going on with some of these penny stocks and other ones. And Marin, that's why you just have to pivot around and find what's going to be popping. If I could type in Marin, it'd be good. We looked at Marriott the other day, too, just because I did the same thing. It's still back on this bottom right here, not doing a whole lot. And I cannot... There we go. Holy cow. How many times did I just try that? That was ridiculous. Mara, I think my brain's pretty tired. I'm definitely going to bed after this. How about Mara right here pulling back down to this support right there? So yeah, there. Oh my goodness. There you go. It's right there pulling back, and we'll try to type in Sophie right here. There we go. Sophie coming back to that line. Should try to roll back up. SOFI is what it looks like, but maybe not because we do see him coming through them channels. So I'd watch for Sophie to try to pull back a little bit more. And let's look at them other guys. That was Palantir, Sophie, Mara. I went to type in Riot. I did Sophie again. Holy cow! I am definitely. I guess I am tired. I didn't think I was even tired, but I guess I am. Anyway, Riot. Here we go. That is pulling back right there. RIOT. And hold on. There we are, Riot pulling back. Yeah, we'll see if Riot wants to roll off of there. It looks like it might, but that one could come down. And let's take a look and see what good old MicroStrategy's up to. He came down $35. And again, it was trying to keep himself up in here, and it didn't do it. Now it looks like he's going to come down. I couldn't believe it was still up before, to be honest with you. And there you go. He came down Friday, and we'll see if it can roll off and keep himself up on that MACD and try to roll off of it. Good old strategy right there. We'll see what his strategy is, that's for sure. And Clean Spark right here. That one's pulling back because that one wanted to run, but obviously couldn't. Coin was down and looks like it's dipping. And Robinhood wasn't doing too bad. And how about Robinhood adding ETF 500 for us, and StockTwits adding ETF 500? So they're both of them great news. Robinhood is pulling back a little bit, but again, not looking terrible right there. Robinhood probably looks the better out of most of them. And let's look at DJT. That one's down a little bit. Was set up to last week one day, and then that was a wrap. And that was DJT, and good old Fun was trying to get Fun that day too, and that pulled back. And how about Mountain? That one's trying to get set up. Look at it. This thing's going to get blasting off, guys. So keep an eye on Mountain, MTN, and watch for any pullback. But MTN looks like it's trying to roll up there and get cruising. And McDonald's, MCD, pulled back. It was run up, and it looks like it's dipping back down right now, MCD. So we'll see if it gets back into this channel or if it tries to bounce off that MACD. And good old Boeing. Well, there we go. And Boeing coming back down, and I think you're going to see a little bit of pullback with Boeing right there. And Space, this one's been a disaster, to be honest with you, and it's been pulling back. I think Space might be crossing back over and pulling back some more if I type it in right. Yeah, it's coming back down. So that is SPCE, and IBM was coming back down, and looks like it wants to get set up, but we'll have to see what's up when it comes back down to there in that channel or in that support line. And Disney, that one was pulling back, and they did have that Wokes, whatever movie it was, I forget. What the heck was it? Whatever, I forget. Snow White, that's what it was. And I think it was a disaster at the box offices I saw. So there you go with Disney. And good old Oxy right here was also down. And wasn't ExxonMobil down a little bit, but not looking terrible. So keep your eye on that one right there. And how about Nike pulling back some more into that basement right there? And yeah, ExxonMobil doesn't look terrible. And DXYZ, and that one's pulling back and could go down a little bit more. So there you go. Let's take a look at our crypto, see what it's doing, because I know Bitcoin did pull back down into like the 81,000 area. So let's see what it's doing. I'll pull them up on here, and then we'll take a look at all the prices. BTC USD, and then we'll look at it. What is it? 81,855, I believe, right there. It says 81,000. Yup, right around there. Solana's at 126. And our Chainlink's back at 1344. HBAR's back at 16.5. Ethereum's at $1,812 now. It was up in 2,000 range, and they all pulled back. Ripple down to 210, guys. So way down on Ripple. And what else? The Cardano's pretty down, 65. So here you go. And again, they were in this channel. We thought they were going to stay, and here we go, crossing back down. and they're getting ready, obviously, for tariff week, and then we'll see him probably have to say something that they're not as bad or something like that, and they'll get cruising back up so that they can maintain them in this channel. So they're using tariffs as a to control the market. We know what's going on. We just have to think like them. So we'll obviously reevaluate it. But they are pulling back right now. Look, this one, Ethereum could roll off right there. So yeah, I was watching them all day. Obviously, I was keeping my eye on some of these. Oh, let me go to the one I wanted. Here we go. And let me see, where is it? Right there. And yeah, it's look at it. It looks like it's trying to roll off of there, Solana. And let me see, what Ethereum did I even put in? I don't even know. There we go. And yeah, another one looks like it wants to roll off. They don't look terrible. And even Ripple, I know, didn't look terrible, but they are pulling back some. That Ripple actually doesn't look great. Never mind. Ripple looks like it is pulling back. I think it was up. It was like flat earlier, but it's definitely pulling back right there at that 209 area. And it is down quite a bit. Like I said, it was up a little more earlier on. So there you go. Ripple is pulling back. And how about Cardano, ADA? And let's see what it's up to. Well, I probably passed. Where is it? Right there. And that one's pulling back. So yeah, Ripple, Cardano pulling back. Let me look at the ETF 500. It's now on Robinhood, and I have to look at it on my phone real quick. A deck screener doesn't always like to pop up on the computer. I can get it up there, but it might take a little. Holy cow, it's at 4.2 million market cap all of a sudden. It was just at like 3.6 when we hopped on. So thing just jumped up. Big green candle right there. And yeah, that thing's cruising. That's getting some big buys. It looks like, oh yeah, $2,800 buy. Tons of big buys coming in on the ETF 500. So and there you go. It's running back up, guys. And I'm telling you, it's going to be the biggest, and I've been buying it. I got quite a bit, and if it runs up pretty nice like I think, I'm going to be chilling, guys. I can tell you that. And I'm going to, I'll be posting, especially now that it's on StockTwits and you get the prices, I'll be posting all that crazy nonsense because I'm always posting that stuff. But yeah, look at that run up right there today, and it is moving. And so yeah, there you go with our ETF 500. That's nice to see. It's nice to see when things move the right way when we like it. And let me just take a look at this stuff, and then I'll end it looking at what you guys want to see. LXRX jumped up that DMN, and this Wolf Speed went nutty going down. It looked good the other day. I think I mentioned it last week actually on the small cap show. It might be the worst one I ever mentioned on that show that like dipped the hardest. And it was, look at it, was trying to set up right there, I remember, and then boom, just came crashing down. I guess it might have ran up like a hair the next day, but nothing that I would be happy about. And yeah, that thing was a disaster. Holy cow. Logic Mark, like I said, we're watching that Sensei jumped up. And this TWG, we had that yesterday, the other day, to run up early in the morning. It did exactly that. You can watch it. I'm not so sure it's going to run up again, but it could possibly try to. And let's see what else is up to. NU is way down. Plug came back down. Lucid was down a little bit. And the SPY's down. DNN is down. So yeah, a lot of stuff down right now. And let me just take a look at that. American Airlines is down. LYT had jumped up the other day. Mullen is down. That's the worst company ever. And Warner Brothers down. Amazon is down. And yeah, it just looks like a lot of them are just down right there. Let's see what's over here. What's going on? What's going on here? Boom, boom. Anything different that catches my attention? That's all the way up at the top. Maybe could run it. I doubt it's going to be a momentum play. And there's your Logic Mark. So, yeah, you want to keep your eye on that after that nice dip. But, yeah, I don't see anything too crazy. And there's your Mist after that nice dip. And let's see what else. No, I don't. B-Hat. Yeah, I don't see anything too crazy. Let me see what you guys want to look at. Here's our news stories. China's manufacturing activity speeds up in March. PMI shows, and then stocks slumped stock slump deepens and bonds rise as traders de-risk. Stocks futures slip as a jittery Wall Street awaits Liberation Day. So that would be on Tuesday, or no, Wednesday would be that for April 2nd. April Fool's Day is Tuesday. And tomorrow's the last day of March. And then Trump's Liberation Day and labor report for this week. Stock market investors looking for clarity on Trump's tariffs on April 2nd. Risk of disappointment. So there you go. Everything's about the tariffs and all that good jazz. And we kind of knew all that. Let me go through and see. So LGMK, we went through all that good stuff. HKD. And boom. Oh, the 20 I talk about is the SMA, the moving day average. I look at the 20 and the 50, and then I look at the RSI and the MACD, and that's basically all I look at, to be honest with you there, blue collar Teamsters. So thanks for asking, and I hope that clears it up for you. So yeah, SMA 20 right there. And if you look on like I said, if you look right here, I'll just pop up this chart real quick, LXRX if you're watching, and that's your 20 coming down. You can see your SMA 20 right here. It says it, and that is your line there. And again, they just put these things in. I never even set this thing up. I've been looking at them like this for as long as I've been looking at charts and always using FinViz, and they always put these trend lines in and these 20s and 50s and, you know, the other trend lines, the horizontal ones. And so yeah, that's just an automatic thing that they put in there, but it does help. And yeah, it's these just all I look at. So hope that helps out right there. And let's see what else is going on. Be cautious on all pharma stocks right now, as many are reacting to proposed tariffs. Yeah, that's definitely the truth right there. Laptop Travel and CIF. Yeah, isn't that $1.50, 1.5 cents quarterly? So yeah, that thing, remember I was saying how it gives out dividends like nonstop. Look at this thing. It's like it's pretty wild. I think then it's quarterly, so July 16th and August 13th and September 17th and October 15th. So yeah, this thing's like nonstop. And I remember we looked at it before. It's monthly. That's what it is. It's dividends paid. I remember we looked at it before, something like that, similar, and we were like, holy cow. But YBTC, what did I just type in there? YBTC, Round Hill Bitcoin covered call strategy ETF. This was the one we were looking at, huh? You're right, Luis Rodriguez. So this is what we were looking at. You can tell with all these D's, because they were like, it was like every week almost. January 30th, the 6th, the 13th. Yeah, it was like every week or something. They had something going on with a dividend. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez. This is the one we were looking at. And it did look kind of similar to that other one, CIF. But yeah, that one gives out a lot of dividends like once a month too. But look at this thing. This thing's insane. March 20th and then March 13th. It's every week. March 6th. So yeah, you're weekly right there. That's pretty wild. I don't know what they look like, but that is crazy. And what are the options looking like? Not anything pretty right now. That's for sure. They're scrolling. And SGRP, keep that on your radar. And I know we looked at it right here. And it did, yeah, that one does look really good right there, SGRP. So I would keep that on the radar right there for sure, SGRP. And it is in that channel curling up, not looking bad. And boom, look at VZ or T. I'm not sure what that even means there, scrolling. I'm not sure what that does, what you're talking about. Here you go, Marty. We'll take a quick look at a couple of them. Let me see. 10 times on space on a $3 put last Friday. Well, there you go. That's what's up. AREC. And boom. What's Verizon? Oh, Verizon and T is what? T-Mobile, right? If that's what you're talking about. Yeah, Verizon is VZ. It's hitting that line. It could come down right there. Let's take a look at it. VZ. Yeah, it's not looking healthy, huh? And what's T doing? AT, that's AT&T. I said T-Mobile. I said that last time we were looking at it. And again, last time we looked at AT&T, it was looking good. It's been popping up. It does look like it might come down right there, scrolling. So I would keep an eye on that right there. And what is WN? Oh, I have no idea what that is, to be honest with you. And let's see what else. No, I just get into the zone and then I come through and do them. The spy's down $4 at 551.50 right there. And what's TSTD or TSDD? Granite shares a Tesla short, and yeah, that thing looks like it's it could be pop. It looks like it's trying to curl up and go down at the same time. Let me see, TSDD. Here we are. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. So yeah, that would be the Tesla short. So you would think short Tesla would be coming down right there. And AREC, and then I'll go back to them other ones. There was a bunch over there. Hold on, Marty. Let me see. AREC, and that one's just kind of pulling back right there. Yeah, that one's pulling back. We'd have to see if it wants to stop on the MACD, but that could be coming back. And there we go with that. So yeah, I would definitely scroll, and I'm looking at that Verizon and like I said, Verizon and the other one T, not looking too bad. And he said AREC had some good news. They joined something. Well, I'm just telling you that the chart, we'll have to look to see if it wants to roll off, but at the moment it does not really look like it from here, so we'll see if it changes around some tomorrow. And let me look at a couple real quick for Marty right here. We'll blast through these guys. ATAI, and that's not looking too bad. ATAI. It's just, I'd have to look at that in the morning. It's just sitting right there. I know this company, ATNM, and it was in the top. I know that it just run up there. And yeah, this one will probably come back down relatively soon. And BYON is at Beyond. And let's see what that's up to. We looked at it before. And that's getting back into the channel, but not so sure it wants to run just yet. LAZR. That's at Luminar Techs, and that's a auto part. That one's not looking too bad right there. LAZR. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if it wants to roll off. It's got that. It could do either way. LICYF. That's going to be over here. Right there. What does it say? Lie Cycle Holdings. That doesn't look bad for an OTCer. That's not looking too bad right there. LPTV. And that's not looking too bad either. LPTV. Hold on. There we go. Oh, I guess that's an OTC or two. I wasn't really paying attention. But that's not looking too bad right there. And LYS, that's going to be right here too with Linus Rare Earths. I think we looked at this before. That one looks like it's kind of pulling back right there. And ONDS, I know we looked at this before. And that one's kind of crawling up to go back up to that 50 right there. Not too bad. OSUR. That one might pull back right there. And let's see, RYTM. That's just in that channel. I don't know if it's gonna bust through that 50 tomorrow. We'd have to look at it. It'll come up on here. RYTM. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to get through there. It is trying to set up, but there haven't been busting through until it's like really set up. And TBLA, Tabaloo. Let's see, TBLA. Yeah, it's got that look like it could go either way. You can't even really tell right there. And THCH. TH International, and this one looks like it's just hitting that resistance. I'm not so sure it's getting through right there. Let me see. Let me type it in right. There we go. THCH. Yeah, I'd have to look at that tomorrow. That could be pulling back right there. And there you go, Mr. Marty. And there you go. Let me see. Did I catch everything? Let me go back over here and see if anything else. Whoop, boom, boom. Let me just cruise through and see what's going on. Let's see. Boom, boom. I think we might have got everything over there. Let's look at Rich Tech Robotics right here. We were looking at this last week, I remember, and it wasn't too bad. And then obviously Friday, everything was kind of a disaster. We'll see if it stays. It might even pull back down lower there, Barbara. It could come back down to that 160. We'll have to look at that one to see. And let's take a look and see. The economic calendar is stacked this week, and Tesla reports Q1 deliveries on Wednesday. All right, thank you, Luis Rodriguez, for that. And let's see what else is going on. I think we kind of got everything. I'm not sure if I missed anything. ALGS, let's look at that one. ALGS right here. That one's just kind of dipping down right there. Let me take a better look. I'd have to look at that one in the morning there, William, and see what that's up to. And let's see, boom. Let's see, what's this up to? What is this? CLNV? Is that what it said? CLNV. That's probably an OTCer, I'm sure. CLNV. Yep. Clean Vision, that's already run up, so I'm not sure about that one. And we did the recent reverse splits, so I think we got everything. And if I didn't, I apologize, but I think I did. Yep, no problem there. Filtrate and NEO for Lauren. Let's look at NIO. NIO right here. Let's see. That one had a nice pullback, I remember last week as well, with the car tariffs in there, China car, auto manufacturer in China, and just pulling back, and it looks like it's going to continue to pull back right there. We'll see. It's on that support line, but that looks like it's pulling back, so we'll have to see with that one, Lauren, in the morning if it can bounce back up there. So there you go. I think that is everything on this Sunday night. And we did do our crypto, all that good stuff. And again, it did close red Friday, so we'll see how it opens up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We'll be on at 7, and make sure if you're trading early at 4 a.m. I will take a picture of the list because I marked it up. Let me put on top of the stock cube right there so I don't forget, and I'll take a picture of that, post it back out so that you guys can see what I marked up there, and take a look at the ones that I look for momentum in the morning at 4 a.m. if you're up there trading on the Webull. And obviously at 7 a.m. we'll be on and going through the market and picking out what's going to be looking good. So we get on as the heat map changes over right at 7, and we go right from there. So we'll look at our Joey's Jumpers laptop lowdowns and everything else. And so you can join at 7 a.m. Check it out. Post some comments. Like I said, we look at everything. And if I don't respond, I probably didn't see it. So just make sure that you comment or send me a DM on X. I will respond. Just make sure it's definitely my real account. There's like a bunch of impersonator accounts that try to scam people, so make sure you're not talking to them. And but yeah, I do respond, and I think you will know it's me because I pretty much text and speak and message as I speak like this. So if you listen to the show, I think you'll have a pretty good idea that it's myself. And so there you go. And again, if you post any comments, I try to respond. I do respond to everybody. And so we'll be looking to see what's going to be popping in the morning at 7 a.m. And all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And thank you everybody for tuning in. I greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in, checks out the replays, comments, sends messages. We have a great community, a lot of fun, and I enjoy it all the time. So I hope everybody had a great weekend, great Sunday evening, enjoyed the show. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the morning, and that ETF 500 is blasting off right now. So there you go. That's a nice one. I was loading up on it as it was down, so I'm way up on it, to be honest with you. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, if you just just position yourself perfectly. I guess I don't do it every time. You wish you do, but I guess I just happened to do it on this one where I had a bunch, but just kept buying more and more and more as it was down and just kept accumulating. I mean, you would buy it and just get a ton of it for cheap. And so that's what I did, and let's rock and roll with it, because like I tell you, in a few months, I think it's going to be life changing, guys. So that's why I bought a ton of it. And so there you go with that, and we will be back at 7 a.m. Thanks again, everybody. I'll catch you guys in the morning. Have a good night, and I'll see you at 7 a.m. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.